Hello everyone, how is everyone doing? It is MessYourself here. Today, we are going to be reacting to Story Booth's animations. Now, if you guys have never heard of Story Booth, they are a channel which take your personal stories, okay, and then they animate them. Now, before we go and actually watch some Story Booth animations, I want every single one of you to go over to their YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, okay, because they are doing some amazing stuff, okay? They've even collaborated with a bunch of YouTubers before, you know, and I would love to do this sort of thing, okay? So go and support these guys' channels, okay? They make such amazing videos based on true stories where, like, people like yourself, you know, kids like yourself can open up and tell personal stories, you know, and these guys are doing something good, all right? So go and support them, all right? They need all the support they can get, you know, go show them some love. All right, so what we're going to be watching is Mean Mum.
There are people in our lives that make us feel safe and loved and respected.
Yeah.
And then for some of us out there are people in our lives that are supposed to make us safe and loved and respected, but they don't do their job.
No.
My entire life, I've had a wonderful father who has made so many sacrifices for me and taken care of me so that I could have a better future.
That's good.
Unfortunately, I can't say the same about my mother. From a young age, I was always ridiculed, teased, and taunted by my mom.
She put a drawing in the trash.
Whenever I did something wrong, I wasn't properly sat down and disciplined.
Oh, no.
I was yelled at and smacked even sometimes.
The mom bloody smacked her daughter? Oh, no, this poor girl.
I grew up with a very low self-esteem because my mom would say things like, "You're terrible. I don't like you. I don't love you at all. I think that you're a big burden to this family. What sin could I have possibly committed to have had you as a kid?"
What kind of mum would say that shit to a kid? Oh my God, that's horrible. This poor girl.
And she thought that all of these words would just brush over and that I would realize that she somehow didn't mean them. But she said them so many times that I don't think she doesn't believe them. In fact, I'm quite sure that she means everything that she says. And as a result, it has lowered my self-esteem and my self-worth, and it has made me do things like cutting and inflicting self-harm.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Don't ever turn and do that. Jesus, that's serious stuff right there. Do not do that ever.
As a young adult, even now, I suffer with this. Of course, I've stopped inflicting self-harm.
Good.
But I have struggled with my self-worth so much. Whenever I look into the mirror, I can't see a girl that I love and appreciate.
No.
I can't see somebody that is strong and independent. I see someone who's weak and who's been broken and shattered by a negative influence all her life. To those of you out there who are struggling because of some negative influence in your life, whether it be your parents or an ex-best friend or an ex-boyfriend or a bully or anything, please remember that you're not alone.
Yes.
That you don't deserve to suffer this way, and nobody should be able to say that to you. You are wonderful, compassionate human beings, and you have so much to offer this world. Don't let this negative influence take over your life anymore.
They sat down and talked to the mum at the end. Whoa, what a sad story. What a sad story with a beautiful message, okay, guys? I do not want to see any of you feeling like this, okay? Even if you do have some evil people in your life, just know that you are awesome, okay? You are worth every single dollar in this whole world, okay? You matter, okay? You goddamn matter. Some days you may think that you don't matter, okay? Just because of the stupid people in your life making you think that you're not, but you are, okay? And just because things are tough now doesn't mean they'll always be tough, okay? You just need to stay strong, stay independent, and you can get through those hardships. But damn, okay, what a beautiful story, okay? All right, the next animation I'm going to be watching is My Strict Parents Put Too Much Pressure on Me. Now, this story sounds very relatable, okay, because my parents were very strict with me growing up, but let's watch this girl's story.
I was diagnosed with depression depression ever since I was 14.
Oh no!
Living with depression feels like there's a ticking bomb inside you, counting down the seconds until it finally reaches 0.
Oh.
Then darkness runs all over you, and there's little to no way out.
Oh.
When I was 17, my self-esteem was down.
No.
I felt so alone.
No.
I just hated myself for having these problems.
No.
The fact that I was a junior in high school was already stressful enough.
Yeah.
But the fact that the environment at school felt way much better than at home.
Damn.
It was too much for me to carry.
That's
My parents
hard.
are all traditional.
Oh.
Chores had to be done every day.
Oh.
The apartment had to be perfectly clean. And there wasn't one day I wouldn't be put to shame for not doing things right.
Damn.
If I didn't meet my mom and dad's expectations,
Oh.
I would get yelled at.
Oh.
Then senior year came along. I was afraid of turning 18 because I believed my parents would put more expectations on me. I secretly hoped they would forget my birthday.
Okay.
They didn't.
Oh, they want more of her because she's 18, man. There's a difference of wanting your child to be the best they can be and, you know, putting too much pressure. You need a good balance of, you know, pressure, hardworkingness, and, you know, fun. You know, fun is something a lot of parents forget.
After a stressful senior year, I finally reached my goal of graduation.
Okay.
But the struggle didn't end there.
Oh.
I still live with my parents, and the rule applied that as long as I'm under the roof,
Oh.
I still have to follow the rules. I will still get yelled at
Oh no.
and be put to shame for not doing things right
Oh.
on the first try. One evening, I felt so alone. I gathered the courage to talk about how I felt to my dad.
Whoa.
It was something I was afraid of doing. Talk about my feelings to any of my parents because I would always end up feeling even worse than when I began.
Oh no.
Everything went downhill after I tried to confront both my mom and dad and tell them to please take it easy on me, that their high expectations was too much for me.
Oh.
When everything failed, I began to break down so bad.
No.
I felt pain not only mentally and emotionally, but physically.
Physically?
I was breathing too fast and sobbing so hard because I felt so crushed at the fact that my parents would not change their ways of applying pressure on me to be perfect.
Oh no.
That evening, I was brought to a hospital by my therapist.
Oh God.
I spent 10 days in the hospital before I got discharged.
Okay.
But I wasn't ready to go back to my parents' house.
Did you harm herself?
I had barely begun to value myself, to accept myself, to know I am worth something,
Yeah.
and that I have the right to make choices.
Yeah, you do.
So I arranged things with my best friend,
Ooh.
and currently I am staying there until I am ready to
Whoa.
go back to my parents. To gather plenty of armor against the many struggles I will have to face them in the future.
Aw.
My depression is something that makes my life a little challenging. But the thing is, I love challenges.
Oh.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Oh, what an optimistic young girl. And the fact that this story is happening now. She says she's been speaking that story like at her friend's house. That's what she's been driven to by her strict parents. Man, that took a lot of courage for her to do something like that, but I think it needed to be done. The next video that we're going to be watching is gun scare at school. Oh my God, did this kid bloody bring a gun to school?
So today in English class, our English teacher was going through the rules again, just because I guess like some people were forgetting them or like breaking the rules. So anyway, she was like, just to remind you guys, there's no food in class, no talking to your neighbor without permission. And if I catch you with your phones, then you're gonna have it taken away and your parents are gonna have to come get it. And when she said that part about the phones, this kid raised his hand and he's like a really creepy kid.
Oh no, he's Pennywise the clown.
And he was like, well, what if I shoot you? Like, hold up. What?
Oh
You're
my
starting
God.
to shoot a teacher? So I just like looked at him and I scooped my desk away.
No.
And the whole class went silent. Like,
Oh my
nobody
God.
said anything. We're all just staring at him. Like, we were all just in shock. Like, did he just threaten to shoot a teacher?
Yeah, that's mad.
After like 10 seconds of it being like completely silent, he reached in his backpack. After he said he was going to shoot somebody with a gun.
Oh my God.
That's when the class went into full-on panic. The kid sitting across from us tackled into the ground. And Miss Bauer was able to grab his backpack and get it away from him.
Oh my
And
God.
somebody else like ran down to the office super quick. and got the police officer to come and get him. It was so scary.
Did he have a gun?
School was in lockdown, and they wouldn't tell us if he had a gun or not. Like, they just wouldn't tell us. We were all just, like, wondering, and people were crying and, like, texting their parents. Oh, my gosh, it was the worst. Anyways, I get an email 3 hours after school gets out. They were like, well, he didn't have a gun. He was just kidding around. But we're going to take disciplinary measures. Like, disciplinary measures? No, that could be put in jail.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he didn't have a gun, and I'm really grateful for that. Just so you know, it is not okay to threaten anybody with a gun.
Yeah.
Especially at school.
Especially.
And especially your teacher. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Anyway, I am glad I'm still alive, but I'm kind of scared to go to school tomorrow now.
Oh god, no, it's fine. Okay, I'm sure he was just joking. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, you can't joke about something like that, which is kind of sad now you think about it, that we're living in a world where in America, you know, like shit like that happens, you know, where kids, you know, take guns to school, you know, and do bad things. Okay, it's something that, you know, shouldn't joke around, because, you know, a couple of people have ruined it. So you can't make that joke. That is some serious stuff. All right, the next video I want to watch is I kissed my crush at a party. Okay.
I remember I was in the 6th grade and there was this big party for this super popular girl's birthday.
Okay.
And everybody wanted to go to her parties because she was like the rich girl, quote unquote.
Rich girl? That,
and
you know what that means?
She would always have good food and great dances and mariachis and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, damn. Sounds like a good party.
I really liked this boy. And the boy and I really liked each other, and everybody knew. They were just asking and wondering, when are they going to kiss?
Okay.
And I hadn't kissed anybody, and he hadn't kissed anybody. So it was kind of implied that we were going to kiss at this party.
Oh.
So I get to this party, and of course everybody knows each other. Everybody's parents are also there because it's like a neighborhood party.
Oh, okay.
I was very nervous for some reason, and I was talking to my friend. We were giggling, and the guys were making fun of the guy that I liked, and they were like, oh, ha, 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 laughing in the corner and eating. And all the girls were sitting around me, and they were like, oh, so when are you going to do it?
Oh, when are you going to kiss him?
Oh, well, we'll just see. So I go with my friend, and we're just dancing on the dance floor, and some other girl from my class pulls us aside, and they're like, oh, Beto wants to see you. And I was like, oh, jeez. And that was the boy I liked. Okay, come with me. So she brings me downstairs. Beto and his friends are just laughing and pushing each other. And his friends have cell phones out. My friends have their phones out. And they were surrounding us, and we were...
Okay, am I the only one that finds it weird that her friends are filming her kiss this boy? Okay, I know we're living in a different world than what I was like when I was a kid, but come on now, to use your phones to record it, I think that's kind of creepy.
And we're just awkwardly looking at each other, but then looking away. And he's sweating, and I'm very red. And then the guys are like, oh, so are you gonna kiss her or what? Kiss, kiss, kiss. And then it turns into a chant. Everybody's like, kiss, kiss,
oh,
kiss.
God, the pressure.
Rico was like very, very shy. And I was like, well, I ain't no chicken. So I grabbed him by the shirt and I pressed my lips against his. I had never experienced this before, and it was nice. It lasted around, I don't know, 6 seconds. 6 seconds? Bloody and everybody was doing, woo, you know, making fun of us. And then they're like, another. And he was like, oh, I don't know. And then I just kissed him again. And they were about to record the third kiss. And then I was like, no, I'm out. So I run up upstairs, and I just run back to my parents, and I sit down at the table with them. They're like, oh, are you having fun with your friends? I'm like, yep, I'm having lots of fun. And that was my first kiss.
Oh, that's a sweet story about a first kiss. Okay, as an old man, okay, I'm an old man, guys. I find it creepy that I'm hearing a story about some young girl getting her first kiss, but you know what? It's cute, okay? Some of you guys are really young, okay? Okay, the next animation we're going to be watching is I Lost My Hair. I'm guessing it's a sad story about a girl having no hair?
I was born with a condition called alopecia, which means my hair follicles just weren't working, and I never grew any hair on my head. So I was basically bald for most of my life, because there's different types of alopecia. There's one where your hair can grow back and fall out, and there's one where it doesn't grow back. I had that type, so it was pretty hard, like having no hair for most of my childhood, and I had to wear wigs and stuff, and just wasn't very good. Whenever I was at sleepovers, They'd be like, oh my god, we should do our hair.
Oh, she can't do it. She's got no hair.
I didn't have any.
Oh.
And there was a few times where there were bullies and people were mean to me.
What kind of people bully someone for having no hair?
Like one time in school, a boy pulled my wig off in front of everyone and everyone stared. It wasn't good.
That's so horrible. What kind of dumbass kid will pull off a wig off someone?
I was confident enough to go out with no hair without putting on my wig, and there'd be people staring, pointing, laughing, and it was sad.
That's so sad.
But the good things that came with having no hair were I never got head lice. Like I remember getting a note home saying, there's head lice in your class, you should check your child's hair and stuff. And I never had to get checked, and I never had to get treated. I never had head lice because I just didn't have hair.
Yeah, well done.
And I'm also on a website called the Rapunzel Foundation, where children can donate their hair to people that don't have it. And actually, when I turned 10, my hair started to grow again.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was like, this is so weird. Why is this happening? And it grew and it grew and it kept growing. And then I got some hair extensions when it was long enough, and I had them for about a year.
That's great.
And then I decided I don't want them anymore. I want my own hair.
Wow.
And so I got them out. I got my hair trimmed, and it was just like a dream come true. I'd never gone out with my own head of hair. And it was just so great. And I was so happy. I was so confident.
Oh, what a great story. Oh. See, I'm glad I watched this video because I had no idea what alopecia is, okay? I had no idea that some people can't grow hair because of it, okay? And yeah, this is a little girl sharing her experiences, her life experiences of dealing with that sort of thing. For some young little girl to live her life without having any hair, she has to be a very, very strong woman, okay? God damn it, what a great story that was. All right, I don't want to watch too many story booth animations because I want you guys to go and watch them all. But the last one we're going to be watching is I Was Homeless.
Me and my sisters didn't get along, and I could never understand why.
No.
They bullied me, tormented me for a long time as a kid.
Oh, no.
They would dress me up like a girl, telling me that I should have been a female so that I could fit in because nobody wants a brother. They would tell me hateful things because I love to eat. They hurt, they teased, they ridiculed. It was terrifying.
That's so sad.
You know, despite my mother doing her best, she was never home long enough to enforce the rules.
Oh, no.
Because she had to take care of us. She had to keep us alive and food in the house and a roof over our heads.
She's already doing so much.
As the teenage years came to roll around, the once verbal teasing and emotional trauma ended up turning into violent. Eventually, the violence got so bad that I felt I couldn't be safe in the house anymore. My mom felt the same way.
Oh, no.
And she sent me to live with my uncle because there was nowhere else I could go.
Why would you do that to your brother?
For a little while, things were okay. And then, out of the blue, my uncle got evicted, which took me out of a place to live.
Oh, no.
I found myself at Central Park. And ironically enough, this is when Pokemon Go was a big thing. So it was really easy to blend into crowds because everyone was running around Central Park looking for Pokemon. And it didn't look weird for this chubby kid to be sitting down, you know, on a cracked phone, just sitting to himself.
Oh, no.
I was hungry. I didn't have any money for food.
So now he's homeless?
And I found myself at McDonald's. And this group of teenage kids was asking if anyone wanted the food that they weren't going to eat because they didn't want to throw it away, and they ended up leaving it by the door. I waited a couple of minutes before I took it.
Oh, no, that's so sad.
And on the fourth night, I was assaulted by a group of people.
Oh, no.
They proceeded to beat on me until they figured it just wasn't fun anymore.
What horrible people.
But after it was over, I took my broken phone out of my pocket and I called my mom.
Oh, no.
We go about searching for places, and that place led me to an adolescent shelter called Covenant House.
Oh, that's great.
I find myself with friends, not camouflaging myself in my pain, but embracing it and finding connections. They're giving me this sense of hope, this faith that things can be better.
That's so
I find myself connecting to my mother and knowing that she knows that I'm okay. I found my redemption in Covenant House. And I'm hoping that while I was here, that people have found redemption in me too.
Oh, what a great story. This poor guy. If you're a homeless kid or know someone who is, Covenant House can help. Damn. This kid, poor guy. Jesus Christ, man. After watching that animation, the only thing I can think about is how lucky we are, that we are not in that sort of situation where it's unbearable to live at home. Man, some people's lives are so hard, I'm just so grateful that, my life is not as hard as these people. But damn, it takes a lot of, willpower, courage, confidence to sort of get through that. Damn, a lot of respect. Okay, guys, on that note, I think I'm going to end the video there. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Story Booth are doing an amazing thing right now. They're working with, young kids, anyone basically that has a story to tell, the Story Booth are doing something good, so go subscribe to their channel. They're making great content. Go check out their website if you want to get involved. Either way, though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, man. So later, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.